Hello, all you lovely people, and welcome to another video of mine. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at Hi-Fi Rush. Now, this is a rhythm-based action adventure, you could say, game developed by Tango Gameworks, and it's been published by Bethesda Softworks for the Windows and the Xbox Series X and S platform. So, basically, it's an Xbox exclusive title. In fact, it was announced on January 25th of 2023, and they released it on the same day. So this was kind of shadow dropped. And what's interesting is that it's available on Game Pass. Can't get it any better than that, right? I mean, it's free. So download it, play it, and if you like it, you can keep it, complete it. If you don't like it, hey, you can just delete it off your internal storage. And you do need to download it on your internal storage, by the way. So let me give you some information about the game, as always. And then, we can jump right into, you could say, some aspects of the game that I liked and maybe some aspects that I did not like. So let's quickly talk about this game. Now, first of all, let me give you the info about the game. So as I've told you, it is an action adventure game, but what sets this apart is that it's a rhythm based action game. So that's why it's different. And what's interesting is the fact that the developers, Tango Gameworks, that is, their portfolio includes games like The Evil Within or even the Ghostwire Tokyo game. So coming from those type of games to this genre of gaming is quite surprising because what they've been able to deliver here is a power-packed, nicely cel-shaded animated kind of a game, and they've done a fantastic job on this game. And I'm going to talk about the gameplay aspects. I'm going to talk about the plot or the story of the game as well. So let me start with the story. Now, this has you playing as Chai. Fun fact, Chai, by the way, is tea in Hindi. But let's say Chai here is a 25-year-old man, so he's a young bloke, and he's got this problem with his right hand. So you see that chicken move there. All right. So his dream is basically to become a rock star, and he arrives at this place called Vandalay Technologies campus. So that's where your journey basically begins. And as you can see, you've got this cybernetic or this robotic arm now. So you've got this arm replacement, and that's how the story begins with this cybernetic limb or arm replacement. And then what happens is you go on this journey where there are some robots who are out to get you. But what I want to highlight right at the start of this game is that this game is absolutely beautiful to look at, even on the Series S. Now, when you pan the camera around, you're going to be able to take a look at those gorgeous visuals. And I like the cell shaded animation type because it runs beautifully on the Xbox Series S. So even if you have this game running at 1080p, because it's got this animated style of, you could say, presentation, it really performs well on the Xbox Series S. I must tell you. In fact, it reminded me of those 1980s animes that we used to see on the TV. So it's got that visual appeal, and it will immediately get to you in a nice way. So if I have to really sum up the story, basically you start off as Chai, this person with the cybernetic arm, as I was talking about it, and now the robots think that you have a defect, so you are a defective piece, and you therefore have to be fixed. So then you go on this journey of battling these robots out, and you kind of come across this robotic cat as well in this journey, and you help Chai basically escape this Vandalay facility where you form this alliance with this robotic cat, and in the process you kind of reveal the motivations behind Vandalay Technologies, their sinister, you could say, plans, etc. So that's basically the gist of the story. Now let's talk about the gameplay as well. And as far as the gameplay goes, Now, since I mentioned that this is a rhythm-based action game, having said that, however, attacking on rhythm is not required, but you do get bonus for attacking on time with the rhythm, that is. So your actions automatically sync up with the music, and pressing that button at the right time, it rewards you with higher damage. So timing is crucial, but it's not like a mandate. So you can just mash your way all through the game, but it's a lot more fun if you listen to the music. And speaking of music, the soundtrack is absolutely brilliant, and I will highly recommend that you plug in your earphones, especially wired ones if you can, because if you're playing with a pair of Bluetooth earphones, then there might be some kind of a delay or a lag. So I would recommend that you connect a pair of wired earphones, because you are going to love the beat, the rhythm, and you're going to enjoy that aspect of the game. So button mashing, acceptable, but you're only going to enjoy this when you listen to the beat of the game, because that helps you deal more damage, and it helps you clean up the locations. Because how this game works is you move from one level to another level, and you're surrounded by enemies, and only when you clear or defeat those enemies can you actually progress in the game. It kind of reminds you of Devil May Cry in many ways, or even Bayonetta, but with rhythm added to it. And it will hold your hands at the start of the game, because you will be introduced to these tutorials, these fun tutorials, where it'll tell you what to do, what not to do, and it will also help you improve that rhythmic button mashing of yours. So those aspects are basically what makes up most of the gameplay. So you are going to have a lot of melee combat, and these melee combats, they include both light attacks and heavy attacks. You can even juggle enemies into the air, and you can have both light and heavy attacks. So you can do combos, you can dodge, you can use that guitar, that V-shaped or Y-shaped guitar, whatever you want to call it. And as you progress in the game, you'll keep on getting better and better at killing lots and lots of enemies. And again, rhythm is a crucial part of the gameplay aspect. So keep that in mind, and a pair of earphones is highly recommended. Now, apart from the melee combat, you also have platforming elements in the game. And I would say the platforming elements are kind of acceptable, offering many hidden spots to discover, and you get a chance to collect items, collect money. And while you may find the jumping aspect of Chai a little too light or wobbly, in my personal opinion, but even if you die, for instance, then you have a lot of checkpoints. So you kind of start at, see, I mean, even if you die, you have checkpoints. So you start right where you kind of lost out, or you died. So it really is not a problem. Now, but moving away from the platforming elements, you do want to spend most of your time fighting enemies, because that's where this game excels, in the fighting mechanics. And it's not just you who's moving to the rhythm, but if you take a close look at the environment, everything on screen moves with the rhythm, moves to the beat. If you have trees in the background, they'll be swaying according to the beat. If you have certain objects like platforms moving up and down, then even those movements are according to the beat. Heck, even the enemies that you're fighting, even they would attack according to the beats. So in a way, you kind of know when they're going to attack. But let me tell you that that does not take away the excitement in any way. It only makes it a little more interesting. But yeah, you do have enemies telegraphing the move. So over a period of time, if you've played this for a long period of time, for instance, then you can say that that rhythmic movement can also be very, very predictable, which to some people might be a little boring, or it can turn you off. But for most parts, I would say that it had me really excited. And the seamless transition between the platforming from the 2D aspect to the 3D aspect again is brilliant. I mean, it's a very immersive experience. Now, you do have elements of, you could say, Persona 5 as well, where you can interact with certain characters in the game. So you have these dialogue boxes that will come, and you have that typical Japanese anime kind of an RPG. But overall, this game is very linear, because if you take a look at the levels, the way it's designed, then it's not an open world. So there's not this expansive or exhaustive map that you've got to take a look at. You are going to move from one level to the other. Like I was saying, the inspiration is clearly from games like Devil May Cry or from Bayonetta, and therefore very linear type of levels. That could be a problem for some, because the very fact that the levels are so linear, and given the fact that you only spend most of your time in very similar looking levels, now that could be an issue to some, because over a period of time it may seem a little too monotonous. Now I agree that the colors, they are really vibrant, they're bold, and it will also remind you of games like Sunset Overdrive or Jet Set Radio. And overall, I would say Hi-Fi Rush's visual design is really good, and it's reminiscent of those cartoons from the late 80s or the early 90s, as I was telling you. But I would say that over a period of time, personally, I found it a little more you could say repetitive. I was finding it difficult to say that word. I don't know what happened. Something came over me. But yeah, those are my personal thoughts about Hi-Fi Rush. Overall, hey, I would just say this, that barring that aside, the monotonous visuals, which are not too bad, by the way, because you do have variety, but if you play this for like long hours, like 11 to 12 hours, then yeah, a little more variety would have been appreciated. But leaving that aside, leaving a few missteps aside, this is a great game, guys. I mean, it's full of excitement, and it oozes with style. And overall, I think it's really worth your money. I mean, it's free on Game Pass. It's included, not exactly free, technically. It's included with Game Pass, so it's not exactly free. But hey, on Game Pass, try it out. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. And I would say that's it for this video. If you've liked the content, then do let me know what you liked about this game. And also like and subscribe to the channel, guys. It would mean a great deal to me, and I would appreciate it. And I thank you in advance for liking and subscribing to the channel, and also hit that bell icon in case you want to get notified with all my latest videos. Now, with that said, it's a wrap for this one, and I'll see you lovely folks in my next video. Until that time, I'll say take care, stay safe, and may God bless you all.